It is dark in Jerusalem. But during this night, not everyone is inside. Jesus and his disciples walk through the streets. They leave the city. As usual, Jesus goes to the Mount of Olives. His disciples follow him. Would you like to follow Jesus wherever he goes? Jesus and the disciples cross the Kidron Valley. On the other side of the valley, at the foot of the Mount of Olives, is a garden. It is a beautiful garden with olive trees. There is also an olive press. Because of that, the name of the garden is Gethsemane. Jesus goes into the garden together with his disciples. He says to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." Jesus takes 3 disciples aside. He asks Peter, James, and John to come along with him. Jesus knows that now it's almost the time that he will die. He knows that the punishment for the sins of the world is so heavy. Now Jesus begins to be deeply distressed and troubled. He says to Peter, James, and John, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Jesus himself goes a little farther, about a stone's throw beyond the 3 disciples. He falls with his face to the ground and prays, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." What does Jesus mean with this cup? Well, when you are thirsty, you will take a cup full of water, or full with any other drink. Now Jesus compares his suffering also with a cup. It is full with the wrath of his Father because of the sins of the world. Imagine you have to drink such a cup. Jesus is so scared, but at the same time he wants to do what his Father wants. An angel from heaven appears to Jesus. He strengthens him. At this moment Jesus is already suffering so much. He is in anguish. He prays more earnestly. Look at him. He is sweating. His sweat is like drops of blood falling on the ground. What a suffering! Then Jesus rises from prayer. He goes back to the disciples. When he returns to them, he finds them sleeping. "Why are you sleeping?" he asks. Then he says to Peter, "Simon, are you asleep? Couldn't you keep watch for 1 hour? Then Jesus says to his disciples, "Watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation." That's also what Jesus asks from us. We need to watch and pray. He knows that we can be willing to obey God, but at the same time we are so weak and fall in sin so easily. That's why we need to watch and pray if Jesus will help us to do what God wants us to do. Jesus goes away a second time to pray. He says, "My Father, if it's not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." We can be so grateful that Jesus is still willing to do everything that is necessary to save sinners. When Jesus comes back to his disciples, he again finds them sleeping. How disappointing is this? The disciples don't know what to say to Jesus. So Jesus leaves them once more. he goes away to pray the third time. He prays the same prayer. When Jesus needs prayer so much to do God's will, how more do we need to pray? When Jesus returns again to his disciples, he says, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come. The Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners." Do you know who is the Son of Man? That is Jesus himself. Jesus knows what will happen to him, but he doesn't run away for it. How great is his love for sinners! How great is his love for you! Jesus says, "Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer."